Hey everyone, and welcome to this episode of Pain and Glory. Spoiler alert for today, I am going to win. We are riding one lap of surf and turf. This ride is going straight off the bat with a sprint. The sprints of this race is following both FTS, first through segment, and FAL, first across line, where the FAL points goes from 20 down through 1 points, and the FTS goes from 10 down to 1. In the first sprint, I got second place on the FTS, and I got third place on FAL. But as you can see, there was two teammates that were in front of me when we were passing the sprint line. So we are top three on FAL, which is really good. We're off to a good start. On today's agenda, I want to take as many sprint points as possible, and I also want to take the win. So I went all in for this race. We're off to a very boring start. It isn't much happening, only flat and boring. But later in the video, it will be really interesting. As you can see, there is a breakaway going ahead, but I don't worry about that at all because it's still a long way to go. We are a huge pack that are working to bring him back into us. Now we're coming into some gravel part before some downhill. And as you can see, I break a little bit away, but this is only to make the pack try to catch me up. So we get to catch the guys ahead. I think we're going way too slow, so I want to speed them up a bit. I get caught again, and no one wants to pull, so I do another one just to pick up the pace. I want to catch the breakaway. In the downhill here, we're catching more and more. So the strategy here is to get way back in the pack and then get some momentum. And you don't need to push hard. You can just get momentum and travel some ahead, and you will bring the pack with you. Soon we're coming down to the flat parts, and we can see we catch more and more. So the breakaway is doomed. It's in these moments I wonder how much the breakaway regrets going in a breakaway. Expending that much energy to keep away from the pack, and then we catch them, so it was all for nothing. This is why I always like to stay in the pack and preserve my energy for the most important parts, like the climbs, the finishing sprint, and stuff like that. We are closing in to the second climb of the day and the second sprint of the day. The strategy for the next sprint is to stay in the middle of the pack, preserve as much energy as possible while climbing, but also do not fall too far back, so you will fuck up the FAL points when you sprint. Coming into the second climb here, it starts right now. I thought people were going to do red numbers and stuff, but it's actually very chill. I don't get any high heart rate or anything, so I'm very comfy. Coming around the corner here, we're closing in to the second sprint. I try to position myself good, not going way ahead, staying far back so I can get the FTS. And I realize, oh no, I'm way too long back. This is not good. But I push as hard as I can, and I think I got 13th place on FAL, but I got first place on FTS. But this was a big mistake for me. I really should have stayed way ahead of that. But you learn, so I won't do it again. Only 6 kilometers to the finish, so it's time to preserve even more energy and get ready for that final climb. Coming through here, no one is doing anything special. We got some guys who was dropped, so we didn't want to push the pack either, so they maybe could catch up. Here we're coming over the last little bump before the real finishing climb. There's a lot of strong teams here, so I'm ready for an intense finish. At this part, I was a little bit sweaty and it was really, really cold outside, so I really wanted to push hard to get up my body temperature. Coming into the finishing climb, I noticed this beast mode guy, David Dan, is pulling ahead. I don't want to let him go because I know he's super strong. So he is pulling me, the pack, and everyone, and I get some really, really good momentum, and I just send it. And when you do this stupid stuff, you have to commit. It's really, really awkward to do it, and you can't commit. I create a big gap. They are 10 seconds behind, so I feel like this is coming home. I push super hard around 500 watts in the climb, and I get really tired, so it's a little bit lower here, but I push all I can. And in the end, it was all worth it. Coming in through the finish line with a 17-second gap, and I get the W. Let's fucking go. 13 seconds behind the next guys. Thanks for watching.